Hello, greetings, greetings, greetings. My name is Chef B of Inyansipo Wellness Institute, and I would like to show you all how to make a beautiful cauliflower stacked bolognese. Actually, it's like a lasagna dish, but we're actually going to reinvent the lasagna aspect of this. So I'm going to call it my cauliflower bolognese stack. Let's just call it that. So one of the reasons that I'm doing this dish for inspiration is we have so many people out here that have gluten sensitivities. They're also trying to do low carb, and we just want to make sure that people are still getting those wonderful, great flavors that they love, but we're also eating healthy. So to start this dish, what we're going to do, we have some basil. So we're going to actually make a pesto. And just so you can see here what's inside of this food processor, we have a little bit of garlic, we have 3 cloves, we have some fresh basil, we also have some almond meal, all right? So just to kind of take the heavy lifting off of my food processor, we're gonna be using almond meal today. And then we also have a little bit of pumpkin seeds to give us some texture. I also added in about a teaspoon of salt, and I use Himalayan sea salt, which is a very healthy salt for you to use. We're gonna stream in a little bit of grapeseed oil. All right, we're gonna stream in some grapeseed oil, but we're gonna basically get this going first. All right, so I'm not using a whole lot of oil. I'm being very mindful not to use a lot of oil here. So I used about a tablespoon of oil. So I want you to take a look. We have this beautiful, beautiful paste. And I'm gonna just taste it for flavor. The other thing that I'd like to add to this is a little bit of nutritional yeast to give it a little bit of that cheesy flavor that we love. So let me taste this. It tastes great. So we're gonna actually add in a little bit of the nutritional yeast here. And I'm gonna add in about a tablespoon. That's all we need. And then we're gonna puree this a little bit more. And then we're gonna get to our cauliflower. All right. Give it another whiz. And that should do it. This is it. Wonderful. This is so pretty. Wonderful. Let me taste it just to make sure. I like to taste. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. All right. So now that we have this ready to go, I'm going to show you all how to do the cauliflower. We're going to actually make these into cauliflower, kind of like steaks. And so with that, I'm just actually going to put this here and set it aside. We're going to make this into cauliflower steaks so that we're going to pan sear it, right? We're going to pan sear the cauliflower steaks. And then by doing so, what this will allow us to do is to get those layers that we love when we basically make lasagna. All right, so I want you to be mindful. I actually pulled off the different leaves here, and I kept this rib in place. And the reason why I did that, I actually bring this a little bit closer, is because what we want to do is we want to keep the cauliflower intact. So we may not use this first one here, but if you look, you have all these different cauliflowers in place. And so when you cut this, you want to cut it large enough so that you can basically have something that looks like a little bit of a tree. Do you guys see that? That's kind of cool. So I'm going to make another one. Boom. And then I'm going to do one more. Excellent. All right. So we could keep cutting, but what will happen is once we get past that rib, what's going to happen is we'll basically get the sides, and then the cauliflower will just pretty much start to fall off. So I'm going to trim this a little bit, but keep it in place. Okay. Just like that. And I just want to use 2 of these ribs. Already already have this hot pan over here, right? We have this hot pan. And so I'm just gonna make this a little bit closer so you can see, right? We have this hot pan. And I'm gonna actually put in here some grapeseed oil, okay? Put some grapeseed oil in here. And since this is nice and hot, what we're looking for is to just really get this nice and brown on both sides, okay? So I'll just show what that looks like. Okay, so we have our cauliflower and searing. So at this point, what we might want to do is you might want to add a little bit of sea salt and those kinds of things, and then you're good to go, all right? Or you can add your Himalayan salt. So here goes my Himalayan salt. I'm going to add a little bit of that to the pan so that as this is nice and brown, we'll also get some really great flavor as well. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna reserve this cauliflower, clean up a little bit, and then we'll get ready to, you know, kind of do our seasoning, plating, and all that good stuff. So, you know, I am a local chef here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I actually attended the African Culture and Wellness Festival 2 years ago, and we had an amazing time. We were interacting with children, and it was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. So I'm really excited that we're still doing this festival, but we are being very creative in how we're approaching the festival this year. All right, so I've cleaned up some of my workspace. I'm actually gonna push this back so you can see, and I'm gonna pull some of that cauliflower, clear some of this up. This is actually gonna go inside my pan because we don't wanna waste anything, okay? I'm gonna turn this up a little bit so we can get a nice crust. It smells so good already, oh my goodness. So cover that, and I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm just gonna wipe some things down. Yes, so I also do health coaching here in Atlanta. We also offer services, meal prep services here in Atlanta. And we really love to support people through classes, plant-based food preparation classes. So we do all of that work here in Atlanta. Super exciting work, super important work for us to do in our community. Okay, so just cleaning this area up. Cleaning this area up and getting ready for the next piece. So you'll hear, this is very, very, you can hear that sizzle. You can hear that sizzle. Right? You can hear the sizzle from the pan. Take a look. And what I'm gonna do here, is I'm gonna show you. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Getting brown. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Right? Getting brown. Okay. And so we really want this to get a really nice crust on there. All right. So we have our cauliflower browning. We have our pesto. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a stack. We have the two cauliflower. That's sort of like our lasagna sheets. And what we're going to do is we're going to stack them, kind of use our basil. And then I also have this beautiful sauce. I want to show you this. I have this beautiful sauce here that I created. So this is my bolognese sauce, all right? The bolognese sauce is made with tomato sauce, there's garlic in here, there's peppers, and the texture that we need in here is lentils, okay? We also use a little bit of red wine, and one wonderful thing about using the red wine is we just use like a tablespoon. It gives it a very rich flavor. You can also add, if you'd like to, there's some mushrooms or of your choice. You can add some other vegetables if you like. You can also add in some beautiful peas or whatever you want. But it's just going to basically make for a beautiful, beautiful dish. So the other thing that we're going to add here is some basil. All right, this is basil essential oil. The other thing that I like to tell people is that I'm an essential oil specialist. And what that means is I show people how to use essential oils in food. So when you're using something like basil, basil is a very pungent essential oil, and a little bit goes a very, very long way. So when we're using something like basil, all we need is literally 1 drop. So we're going to add a drop to this. There we go. All right, so we added a drop. And what we're going to do here is we're going to, and I'll use this spoon that I have reserved here. We'll just basically just stir all of that in. And I'm just using the spoon from my basil because that's just goodness we don't want to get rid of. All right, so look how pretty that looks. So nice. And then I'm just going to put my spoon on this side. Okay, so let's check our cauliflower. I'll cover this back up so you can see. And what we're going to do is check our cauliflower. Ah, look at that. Show this again to you. Right? Can you see? There we go. That's the color that I wanted. This looks gorgeous. Beautiful. Look at that. Get a nice brown crust. It's so pretty. Look at that. Can you see? Yes, it's beautiful. All right. So I'm going to salt again, just to make sure that, you know, our food is well seasoned. Where did I put my salt? Here we go. All right. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to get ready to plate. Okay, so now that we have all of that, what we're going to do here is we're going to get ready to plate. Okay, bam. So the first thing that we're going to do, I have some rinsed spring greens here. This is going to wilt once we put the cauliflower on here, but it just really makes for a beautiful presentation. So we're going to add this. Going to add that. Okay, and I'm actually going to, what I'll do is I will, actually no, we're good. I was like, oh, I could, no, just keep it simple. All right, so what we're going to do here, is we're going to turn this heat off. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the first stack. I'm going to bring the first stack over here, like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do here, I'm going to grab my basil pesto mix. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to take some of that pesto and we're going to spoon it on here like so. Okay, so remember, you don't need to cook this extra. A lot of times people they're overcooking. Okay, we don't need to do that because this is ready to go. This is ready to eat. Okay. Here, and then we're gonna now take our sauce. We're gonna take our sauce. Let me get another spoon. Take our sauce, and I'm going to just dress the cauliflower with this. How beautiful that looks already. And now we take our second stack. Take our steak. Okay. And I'm going to place it on here again, like that. And then I'm going to just use some of this cauliflower, the little bits, right? Some of those bits for toppings, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing again, okay? It's so flavorful. It's gonna be so delicious, so pretty. Look at that. Okay. And I'll just scoop some of this off. Okay. And then now, some more of this. This is such a beautiful dish it's hearty and so healthy for you. The only oil that we used here, was we used a little bit inside of the pan for the cauliflower, and we used just a little bit inside for the basil, making the basil, but we didn't really use a whole lot of oil. Look at this. This is gorgeous. And then what I'm going to do is just top it with a little bit more pesto. Just a little bit more, just on top here. A little bit of pesto, and then we're going to also add a little bit of the bits. Not much, but we're going to add a little bit of the cauliflower bits that we have. All right. And there you have it. There you have it. Look at this. This is our cauliflower lentil bolognese lasagna stack. Notice I keep changing the name of it, but I think it works. All right, this is just beautiful and just an easy dish to prepare. Super healthy, super low carb, and super wonderful for you. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy the festival. I hope that you all enjoy this particular dish, making it, and you can really kind of shake it up and do what you want. You know, it's all about creativity in the kitchen. It's all about really just playing around and having a great time. And so I hope that you will try this dish. Again, we're trying to keep things low carb. We're trying to be gluten-free. And this is one dish that you can absolutely use inside of your arsenal if you're really trying to keep things really light and simple, okay? Once again, my name is Chef Beee of Inyansipho Wellness Institute. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. Definitely a veteran of the Atlanta Culture and Wellness Festival. And I'm so happy that we are still having the festival, but again, in the virtual space. And I hope to see you all soon. You can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram is iamchefbeee, and Chef Bee is actually spelled with 3 E's. Those E's stand for be, empowered, energized, and engaged. And I'm also on Facebook as well, Essentially Chef Bee. You can also check out my YouTube page. It's Chef Bee, Essentially Chef Bee. One of those will find you or get you to me. All right. You guys have an awesome day, and I really hope that you enjoy the festival. Take care.